Welcome to yet another coverage in this series. Here's a particular term that we have come across when we browse through gaming series cricket. Yes, you've got that, and it is about warm-up. We would be looking to a lot of related information which would provide insights as well as ambiguities. To get started with, let's look at the usage of it in real life, where performing a warm-up is crucial before carrying out matches, and eventually relate it to this gaming series. All the recent international tournaments conducted by the ICC have had a set of warm-up matches involving the participating teams, to make them practice for the real event. The results or stats of these matches are not officially counted. However, the distinguishing factor is that all the squad members of the team are eligible to play with any role at any point of time, and there does not have to be a playing 11 to be announced. This ensures the freedom of any player to take the field, providing a good chance to express his or her natural skills. In the gaming series, there has always been a fixed 11 for each side. The reason could be that these cricket video games would be unable to implement such flexibility in the players used, and therefore treat these matches in the regular format. The warm-up matches were introduced for the first time in the 2019 Cricket World Cup gaming series. We could witness two of them, with India playing against New Zealand in the first and Bangladesh in the second. Both happened to be interesting contests, with the blue team losing to the Black Caps and prevailing over the Tigers. But that was the end of that for then, as we just saw their own league matches along with the knockout games after that, and not any other team's individual ones. This concept came back in the 2020 edition of the PGE T20 League, which has been used till date. This is where we can possibly derive some interest from. There have been 5 warm-up games in each year since then, with each team facing a particular team from their opposing group. We have seen most of the teams go with the best combination they think in order to make them practice and build a team relationship early on, and other teams adopting special strategies. A notable one would be the move of playing all 5 men from the underdog category, thereby resting a few of the main players. This was first seen with the 2-time winners Southern Leopards that eventually proved to bring them glory. It could have definitely inspired other teams like these to try out such a technique. This included our own team as well, going forward with it in the 2023 edition. While the idea of resting players was known previously, going with 5 underdog players struck us only later, and upon observing the dominance of the last couple of teams with this strategy, we realized that it was our need to have a go at it. Here are some stats regarding all the warm-up matches conducted so far, which is present in a dataset that Hamza created. I would also like to show you regarding the warm-up match numbers of each team which has competed multiple times, that I had found out. We could conclude that 2 teams had repeating numbers, with our team being one of them as well. Now, while we have been talking about the warm-up matches, the term warm-up was actually used years before too. In the very first edition of the PGE T20 League in 2015, there was also a specific warm-up league introduced involving 4 teams, perhaps to give opportunities to those participants who had missed out on qualification to the actual league. Initially not believing it to be official, it now happens to be considered so. This was quite prevalent only during an announcement of the 2023 league, stating that the edition will start off with the 200th game of the league overall. That includes the 7 matches in the warm-up league held in 2015, which could raise some ambiguity in different forms. We also happened to be in that particular match, where we lost in a humiliating fashion to our opposition, and held an unwanted record of not hitting a single 6 during our innings. This loss could potentially be a benchmark for us losing to the very same team later on in the final that year. As there has now been a history of teams winning the first match of the league also ending up winning the tournament. What I think it could be considered official is maybe that the winner of that warm-up league advanced to the next edition, along with the champion of the main league, thereby making it like a qualifier. Despite all of that, there can be clarifications such as the meaning behind just considering and counting the warm-up league matches along with the actual league matches together, and make it to such a number, as the actual league participation should ideally have a different status from being in a warm-up edition, even if it is considered an official match. There can be more clarity brought with this topic through the example of the Cricket World Cup, where we have a separate qualifier round about quite some time before the actual tournament. But those qualifier matches, despite being official international games, were not treated as matches of the actual World Cup. Another significant point could be that if the warm-up league matches were indeed considered to be official, then the winner was not depicted in the PGE T20 League Hall of Fame, which only displays the actual league winners. We had previously counted out all the hundreds scored in the PGE T20 League as well. If this theory applies, the first one would not be that of Aaron Finch in the actual league in 2015, but that of Quinton de Kock in the warm-up league final. So that's about it. In a nutshell, we have seen different aspects and views of this particular concept, which include fascinating game plans, performances, as well as some amount of uncertainty dealt with. Do feel free to share your thoughts on it, and with that I can sign off from this video. Thanks a lot, and have a good day.